It was Toothless who provided the answer to the escape problem. One afternoon, Hiccup looked down from the crow's nest and spotted Stormfly and Toothless creeping out of the cooking tent. They had sneaked in there while the cook was having a thoughtful chat with Norbert as Norbert checked his great map of America. Both dragons were flying extremely erratically. Stormfly had turned every colour of the rainbow and was letting out little hiccups and fiery explosions of golden smoke as she somersaulted and cartwheeled through the air. Toothless appeared to be flying upside down. There he is. He too was hiccuping, and with every hiccup a little stream of golden bubbles flew out of his nose. "What are they doing?" asked Kamikaze, in danger of falling off the mast as she peered down at the little dragon's eccentric progress. "They look like they're drunk," said Fishlegs in amazement. Toothless got entangled in the rigging, and Stormfly was so helpless with giggles she could barely free him. "It's very tangly, this air," Hiccup could hear Toothless saying. Eventually they got going again, and they flew past Hiccup's perch. "Who is this tall gentleman?" said Toothless, as he bashed into the mast for the second time. "He keeps on getting in the way." "Toothless, Stormfly," Hiccup called out. "Come over here." "That boy over there seems to be calling you," Toothless advised Stormfly. "Whoops, sorry." They flapped over to where Hiccup and Kamikaze and Fishlegs were sitting, and they were burping and swaying and exploding with bubbles. "What have you been doing?" scolded Hiccup. "I told you not to go near that cooking tent." "I haven't been anywhere near the cooking tent, have you?" Toothless drawled Stormfly. There they are, hicking, and I love it. Drawled Stormfly. The upside down Toothless nodded so hard that great streams of golden bubbles poured out of his ears. "Absolutely not," he said solemnly, his eyes crossing. Toothless not go into the cooking tent. Toothless not open the lovely scrumdiddlyumptious jar of lemonade with the lovely tickly bubbles. Ooh, hick, tee! There goes another one. Toothless not there. Toothless. He searched his rather addled brain for a really good excuse this time and came up with a belter. "Toothless in Rome," he said at last. "Really?" said Hiccup politely, carefully turning Toothless the right way up and settling him in his arms. "Or up the chimney," said Toothless, not quite able to decide which was more convincing. "With Toothless's good friend, the senator." With that, both Toothless and Stormfly fell asleep so suddenly and deeply that the Stormfly fell off her perch and Kamikaze only just caught her in time. They were both snoring like two little hibernating grizzly bears. All around their mouths was a slightly sticky, browny substance. "Dragon nip," said Hiccup thoughtfully. "There must be a jar of dragon nip down there in the cooking tent." Dragon nip was a perfectly harmless but sleep-inducing substance gathered from the sweat glands of the loafer dragon. "A sort of spot of dragon nip in the dinner, and anybody who eats it will be up for the count for the next 12 hours, said Hiccup. "Okay, guys, I think this could be a good night for us to escape." Oh, there are Toothless and Stormfly. Look, they're fast asleep, hicking and zizzing. But look, they might have found out the answer. And just before, let me just see how much I got time. Yes, 48. I can do this little in the middle of the night section. I love these dragonese sections. And Toothless in the middle of the night, Toothless is saying, "Me has buckets to belly scream," which means I am very hungry. "Me isna burped. It's a middling. It's a zuzz time. I don't care if it is the middling of the night. Me needed you grabbing snip snap. I want food right now." Or me'll do the yowly screeches so fortissimo they'll hear me in a big man gaff. Or I'll scream so loudly they'll hear me in Valhalla. Me needed the salty six. I want oysters. You grab a Scott stick the India land scoop, Snarstar away. You can get oysters from the harbour. It's not far. Me go to yowl squeak. I'm starting to scream. 3/4 of an hour later. "Yummy peepers undo. You woke me up." What is that? Dan, now goggly da cost salt 6. That doesn't look like oysters. Da goggle me comes sniffer sludge. That looks like bogies. Sniffer sludge plus these squid ink nibblies. Bogies with black bits in them. Me nah like it, the squid ink diddles is a yuck. I don't like black bits, they're disgusting. Whatever. Me is trousers ready part of scrumming. Anyway, I'm too tired to eat. It's toothless being a little bit annoying in the middle of the night. We'll find out whether the escape plan works tomorrow.